became a millionaire overnight, but lost everything that actually mattered.
Hold on, Sophia. Did you just say they lost everything after becoming a millionaire?
That's right. And it gets worse. It's a narrating too much drama week on the OkStoryTimePodcast, so we'll find out soon. And if you're new here, there are multiple parts to this story, so make sure to follow us on the iHeartRadio app or Apple Podcasts. Okay, let's get back to the story. Where do I, 30 male, even begin? I'm so lost right now. I don't even know how to put things into words or find a good starting point. I guess it goes with how 2 months ago, my life was exactly where I wanted it to be. I've been with the girl of my dreams, 27 female, for the last 3.5 years. We have a house, animals, both of our families get along beautifully. And honestly, the last 3 years with her and my family and her family around the holidays have been some of the most warm, fuzzy memories I've had in my entire life. And believe me, I've been thinking about those times a lot lately. So, like I said, this problem is going to come in parts because my entire life feels like it's on the brink of completely falling apart. My mother was a very, very wealthy woman. Most of my life, she and I did not get along very well. But I started working on the family business roughly 5 years ago, and since then, we've actually developed a great relationship. It was one of those things where, after many years of feeling that my mother did not like me, she was at last proud of me, and not afraid to say she loved me and valued me. Then, last month, in mid-March, she passed away. Despite our complicated relationship in my early years, I loved my mother more than anyone else in the world. I won't say much more than that. She had a hard life in spite of her wealth, and I feel I could write a whole book on our relationship. Anyway, she's gone, and my siblings and I are now extremely wealthy, and have taken possession of the business and all of her investments and property. If that isn't scary enough, I'm having a hard time figuring out what I need to do next. The business I was associated with, I can handle, and my siblings and I have really come together on this, and they seem to trust me with that part of it. But it doesn't wash away the hurt and guilt I feel that I only got a few good years with the woman who gave me life. Anyway, my plan is to marry my girlfriend by next year, and we've already discussed the prenup situation, which I will be getting due to my newfound wealth. She's been nothing but wonderful after my mom's passing, but the problem comes with her family. It always does. I won't go into too much detail, but I love these people like an extension of my own family. But they have already started trying to pry exactly how wealthy I am out of my girlfriend. And her mom has always had a gravitational pull towards, for lack of a better term, pyramid schemes. Her first sibling, Terry, just got married and is working a fast food job. Terry and his wife have decided they will be starting a family soon and stated that they want the wife to be a stay-at-home mom. This talk has only recently popped up and been brought to my attention, and I feel like I'm being paranoid, been directed at me, as there is absolutely no way they'd be able to afford this on the money they currently make, or even while living in their small apartment. Like they're expecting me to help them out in a situation they are wholly unable to handle right now. Sibling number 2, Leslie, has run into some pretty serious legal trouble and is also pregnant. The father has an ugly history and neither have steady incomes. They have recently come back into our lives after a 4-year-long absence between girlfriend and Leslie, though prior to this, the two have always been extremely close, as girlfriend is with all of her siblings, as throughout their childhood, a lot of the time, all they had was each other. Sibling number 3, Casey, who I hardly ever speak to, has even started chatting me up on Facebook more than she ever has in the entire time I've known her. Is this just my brain devolving into paranoia, or is this actually happening? Like the lottery horror stories you hear where people come out of the woodwork with their hands out when they smell money on someone they know. I know for a fact my mother, for all of her faults, fell victim to this when she inherited this money. She became increasingly bitter throughout her life due to all of the husbands and friends that took advantage of her for what she could do for them, and eventually alienated her own children. I don't want to be like that. I don't want that to happen. It's been less than a month that I've had more money than I know what to do with, and I'm afraid to spend a dime or do anything with it because I feel like my girlfriend's family is only the beginning. What's worse, and will probably make me look like a total craphead, is that my girlfriend is already committed to helping Leslie. They were close their whole lives, and with all of the legal trouble and pregnancy, girlfriend cries at night thinking about what's happening to her. She's not asked me to help financially or anything, but I have been there every step of the way to help support them and her as best as I can. But how will it look when my girlfriend starts giving out her money to people while I don't? And I get viewed as a selfish Scrooge. All of this is too much. The last 3 years were just so wonderful. So many magic trips to the beach, wonderful holidays, surrounded by not one but 2 families full of great people that accepted and loved me. And now it seems like because I lost my mother and am getting a windfall because of it, everything is changing. I don't get to be happy with my family anymore, and my whole life is crashing because of this. I know this is so far beyond a first world problem. Poor baby's now a multi-millionaire and is a little sad he can't have a happy Christmas. Wow, wow. But I feel so incomplete. I miss my mom, and now I feel like everyone is out to get me. Even my girlfriend is getting a little tired of hearing me voice my concerns over girlfriend siblings 1 through 3 and her mom's sudden extra interest in me, which is understandable. They're all very close and stick up for one another. Now I'm even doubting myself and thinking it's all in my head, maybe. Too many times my mother told me all about the time she trusted people and was let down. I'm just so lost here. Last night, I called my sister and drove an hour to her house and stayed the night with her, her husband, and my nieces and nephew. Over some drinks, she and I started talking about the whole situation. And oddly, it's the first time we've really talked about anything alone without attorneys or my other siblings around since my mother passed. Anyway, it turns out she isn't as together about everything as I thought she was. I showed her the thread and all the replies, and both she and I agreed to talk to a financial advisor and look into getting attorneys to help us with this. She's been primarily working with my mom's attorney up until now. I'm going to look into setting up a trust as well. Nothing too crazy, but enough that I can give small gifts to these people and have a cap on it, so to speak, for whenever it does come up. I talked to my girlfriend on the phone this morning and kind of laid it all out, and she was in total agreement. If you're new here, there are multiple parts to this story, so make sure to follow us on the iHeartRadio app or Apple Podcasts. Okay, let's get back to the story. She said she was surprised Casey had suddenly started talking to me and that it was very suspicious. She also said that Terry's wife brought up the kids again and was showing her houses they wanted to get that were way out of their price range. And my girlfriend kind of played dumb and just kept asking questions about how they planned to afford all that. So I know she and I are, for now at least, on the same page. Lastly, when I was talking to my sister last night, she said something that both uplifted and destroyed me. We were talking about our mom and what a hard butt she was, and my sister said that one of the last conversations she had with her mom, my mother said, "You and your brother should trust OP. He knows what he's doing and he'll make sure everyone is okay." Anyway, thank you all again for all of your comments. I feel like a better and stronger person just one day later. And we've got another update. Hey everyone! So in an attempt to pick up where this post left off, my mom had just passed away and I was settled with a whole lot of first world problems. The good. I managed to invest in crypto with a large chunk of my money, and by some miracle, entirely out of my know-how, and against the advice of my former financial advisor, bought low and sold high years later. This made me the wealthiest of my siblings by far. My sisters and my relationship has grown thick as thieves. We sold our mom's company despite some complications and went in on a number of real estate investments together, and it's worked out very well in spite of the pandemic. She is my very best friend in this world and my constant protector as my big sister, and all of her kids get everything I have when all is said and done. Oh no, the not so good. I'm divorced. After having the conversation with my girlfriend about inheritance, I thought things were improving. We ended up getting married. Cool. No expense spared. Cool. And despite all of the Reddit warnings I received, I spread the wealth amongst her family. Yay! It turns out, however, that she was not who I thought she was, and I was not who she thought I was, as she decided to attract a boyfriend during our marriage, and she paid for their outings through my account. To say I hit a low would be an understatement. However, I am still good friends with my brother-in-law, and he has shown me nothing but gratitude for my helping his growing family in the ensuing years. I love him, and I hope to keep him close for the rest of my life. Also, during the grieving period of my mother's passing, I was sued by my stepfather as he contested the will, and my brother sided with him. So for what felt like an eternity, I was fighting against my brother and stepfather, footing ridiculous legal bills, and going through one of the hardest seasons of my life. Eventually, the gods of old, they lost, and I was suddenly quite single against my will, but had quite a bit of wealth. After all of the legal problems, thanks to my incredible attorneys during my divorce and being sued, I bought a motorcycle, and a la my hero Neil Peart, R.I.P., traveled North and South America. That sounds pretty freaking cool. I saw so much and wrote about all of it, and when I returned home, I found myself in a much clearer headspace, something I am grateful for as I type this. I haven't spoken to my brother for almost 4 years, which crushes me every day of my life. I miss him so much, but I just can't seem to get through to him or my stepfather, who I also love very much, in that I would give them most of what they want money-wise, but they have since become evangelical Christians. Whole other can of worms. And what I'm willing to do is suddenly not enough. I'm also paying for my ex-wife's expenses because, frankly, I loved her, and I thought she loved me. Money doesn't mean much anymore to me, and some days it feels like that is all I'm good for. I want her to be happy despite all of the heartache and pain. It was both of us. I see that now despite her stepping out. That being said, I have been involved with a young lady for the past few years who has her own career, and she is beautiful and makes me feel like a good person when I'm with her. I'm taking it slow, but she is frankly out of this world incredible. If marriage ever exists in my future again, it will be with her. I visit my mom's grave often, and that is in parentheses, as she was cremated and her ashes spread along her favorite coastline. I often ask her if she was proud of me and if I'm on the right path, usually having brought a few bottles of her favorite wine with me. And I know I'm not, as I only hear the ocean breeze in response. Every year, it's the hardest thing I have to do without the worry of how I'm going to pay my bills. It's a grand privilege, I know, but I miss her. We had so many hard years, so many arguments and fights. Still, I really felt towards the end that she felt some sense of pride in me, like I had finally done something worth remembering with her business, only for her to up and pass away. Do I still feel alone? Yes, absolutely. As a person, I sometimes feel I do not have any worth whatsoever, but the money I can offer. I guess that is the monkey's paw part of this whole thing. I have 7 total good friends. I journaled and counted during my motorcycle odyssey, for which I'm grateful. One of them is my sister, and I'm so grateful to share DNA with such a wonderful human being. In the process, I have lost my only father figure and my baby brother who sided with him, and my wife who I thought was my great love. I'm older now and getting older. Still, I have the 7 and my new lady, and I feel enough from that to push forward day to day. I know this is probably not the happy ending people wanted, but if I've taken away anything from this, things aren't clean. They're dirty. They're always messy and complicated. Humans are hard. I have a few houses, which is a great privilege, but I have lost a lot of the human connection of which I was worried about during my original post. Self-fulfilling prophecy, maybe. I often think about those beach vacations or cozy holidays filled with so much love and acceptance and warmth from so long ago that I cry. It still breaks my heart knowing those days are behind me. I miss them so much, but also know that I can never get that back, and my only hope exists in the road in front of me. I know my life changed completely the day my mother passed, and I lost a great deal in the years after, but I still have years ahead. In conclusion, I guess my original problem from so many years ago is solved. But I have a lot more life left to live, hopefully. I suppose that is the end for now, and that is the end, folks, of the story.